Aimless podcast.
Alright, so the first episode of the Aimless podcast.
Aimless podcast.
There is another podcast called Aimless Podcast, but we're taking that name.
Listen.
It's ours now.
His last 5 days ago. Ooh. No views though. No views. Okay,
No
listen.
views.
We're golden. We're golden.
We're gonna buy it off him.
Aimless podcast, if you contact us, we will not change our podcast name.
We have to fight to the death. We'll have to do a Fortnite.
We will pretend like you do not exist.
Let's be honest. Who's listening to your podcast? I'm sorry.
That's mean. Listen, his highest viewed video has 8 views.
I'm getting a call from Polymer. They're already onto us.
From who?
From a place.
Palmer,
Texas.
Palmer, Texas.
We'll cut that out.
Dude,
Cut out the Texas part.
cut out the Texas part.
Who cares? Somebody's gonna listen.
Because we live in Wisconsin.
The Aimless podcast is the worst podcast.
I like Aimless podcast. Poor dude, he really doesn't have a lot of views.
God.
Poor guy.
It's a shame we're gonna be taking his name.
Poor guy. Oh, he talked about Bungie.
Oh, did he? Hey. Is he
A Bungie.
Bungie fan?
A Bungie. I don't know.
Let's talk about games.
Oh, by the way, I'm Jonathan.
Oh fuck. Alright, I'm Jeremy.
There you go. Now you can distinguish the voices.
Yeah. You can tell the high pitched game one is Jonathan.
That's not right.
Fine.
The high-pitched gay one is me.
Yeah. It's me.
Also known as Jonathan. I hope that confused you.
What's up, everybody? It's critical.
What's up, everybody? It's critical.
We're cutting that out.
Oh, we're cutting that out. It's over.
We are. Wait, what's their podcast called?
What?
The Criticals podcast.
It's called The Official Podcast.
God damn it.
It's a pretty good name.
That's a pretty good name.
It's not bad.
But who watches it? Nobody. What?
Listen, just a couple 100,000 people in
Who cares?
a couple weeks.
A bunch of nobodies.
Listen.
But listen, who cares? We're up and coming podcast now.
Yeah, we're the best podcast.
And number one, I'm saying that now. We're gonna be
Also
up in the
known
ranks.
as
By
the-
the end of this year, we're gonna have 100,000 subscribers.
We're going to have at least 50, 100,000 subscribers.
We're gonna have 80 million subscribers.
Listen, all I'm saying
Better
is
than
that
Jim-
I'm going to be a millionaire by tomorrow.
I hope so.
I
need
hope
the
so
money.
too.
Anyways,
We'll be real rich.
so let's talk about games.
Talk about games.
Let's talk about Apex Legends.
Let's talk about Apex Legends. Best battle royale game ever made.
Haven't played it, but great.
Listen, best game. Best game ever.
When are you gonna download it?
I'll download it eventually.
Like I've seen
Also
it.
known-
It's boring. It looks like a Call of Duty game.
It does
That's
not
my-
look like a Call of Duty
It
game.
looks. That's how it looks to me. There's a robot right there. Reminds me of Call of Duty Infinite.
I gotta admit, I'm real tired of this robot shit.
I'm as
I'm
well.
real tired of this robot shit.
Now, where are the other robots from? Give people context because they're not gonna know.
The robot, they have no clue. They are brain dead dummies.
That's not true. We only say that so that way you don't.
I am not jesting. Anyways. No, but like there are robots in like the new Call of Duties and shit. There's just robots in everywhere. Every time I see a robot, it's just like they didn't try. They made a robot. They didn't make an actual character, you know?
I mean, you're right. I haven't played any Call of Duty games.
And I guess making a character feel like, or making a robot feel like a character is an achievement, but
I mean, it's possible.
it's a robot, so you don't really have to.
Yeah, that's true. But you can, and when you can,
It's true. You can imbue it
Two
with,
good examples: Iron Giant and Wally.
I guess.
The-
I suppose.
the-
You know what? I concur.
yeah. I'm glad you agree.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about bad robots. How about
Bad
that bad
robots.
robot from Treasure Planet? So annoying. A movie that nobody's seen.
When you said bad robots, the only thing I could think of was Bad Dragon.
As soon as
The
I said
dildo making website.
we cannot have this in our podcast.
We can.
That's right. We're off the grid.
We are the Aimless podcast.
Yeah, wherever we want.
What do they expect?
We can be sponsored by them.
You've come to the wrong place.
Put a sponsor code, Aimless Code.
We're in the description. We'll have a link to Aimless Podcast, his channel.
We can give them traction.
Dude, he has made 400 fucking podcasts. Holy Christ, dude! Look at that. That says 402.
What?
What the hell?
Each of them are like 2 or...
This is gonna be us.
We're gonna make
We're gonna have
big monies, baby.
We're gonna have 400 episodes and 2 views.
And no... Oh my god. 3
Oh, but he
views.
streams live on Twitch, so maybe he has more Twitch viewers.
Maybe. He has like 1,000?
Doubtful. He only has 22 subscribers. There's no way he has 1,000 fucking...
Who knows? Maybe he just started it. He has 10,000 views, though.
Poor guy.
Listen, Aimless Podcast, if you're listening to this, you suck. We're taking your name.
Poor guy.
Hello, everybody out there.
Oh, no.
That's copyrighted now. What's done for?
No!
Cut that out.
It's over.
Anyways, robots in video games.
Anyways.
Is Big Daddy a robot? Discuss.
Is Big Daddy from Bioshock?
No.
Where is Big Daddy from?
No. Yeah.
Trying to make me look like a fool, eh?
Yes.
Make me look the fool.
Yes. One of us has to be. It's not going to be me.
I don't know. I played Bioshock Infinite. Was he in Bioshock Infinite or was he in the first game?
I don't think so. I've not seen a single instant of Big Daddy in
Big Daddy.
It was in the first and second Bioshock.
Okay.
And implied in the...
He's our editor.
Infinite. Okay, well, I only played Infinite. And I didn't see
You played
it.
the worst one?
I thought Infinite was the best one.
No, I'm joking. I don't know. I have no idea.
The first one's the best one based on horror, but Infinite's the best in spectacle.
I played the first one and I stopped playing, so so I think that says something about the game.
That speaks volumes.
It was a good game. I just wasn't my cup of tea.
By the way, 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes.
Anyways, video games.
Yeah,
It's
first
not-
you get to molest little girls.
I'm
All
sorry,
right.
little girls.
That's not coming.
That's
That,
too far. We're gonna cut that.
that.
We're cutting that. I'm
That's
sorry.
too far. I can't believe you joke about something like that.
Pedophilia is not a joke, guys. Rape is, though.
Rape is...
Of course it is.
Yeah, like with Vic Mignon.
It's in the name, rape. Joke. 4-letter word. 4-letter word is joke. 4-letter word is rape.
You can't spell rape without joke.
It's in the context clues.
Oh god. Oh god.
Too far. Rape is not a joke. I can't believe you'd say that.
I'm sorry. I've seen the error of my ways. No more rape jokes.
It's true.
Only black jokes now.
That's absolutely good.
Now let's talk about blackface. I'm sorry.
I heard something, I think it was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh. We're talking about different podcasts.
It was about,
Sponsored by Joe Rogan Podcast. Go follow him.
I think it was about blackface.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah. That's why I brought it up.
Recently, my teacher showed me a video about
About blackface?
Yeah. Well, like an SNL skit about, I forgot who it was. I think it was one of the Key and Peele guys.
Mm.
He was a black politician. He said, all right, which one of you have done blackface? And then one of them raised their hand and said, does it count if it was in the 80s? Yes, that's still blackface. Anyway,
so that's
funny SNL.
That sounds like they're playing irony on the fact that people are now getting in trouble for playing blackface in the 80s. Was it ironic?
In the 80s.
No. So people are actually getting mad about people wearing blackface
Right
in the
now.
80s. People, yeah. Legitimate
About
people are
in the
getting mad.
80s.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. But people are getting mad. So was the SNL skit making fun of the people who are actually getting mad? Or were they actually getting mad?
No, I think it was just a
How
joke.
many levels of irony are there here?
I feel like the joke itself
'Cause
was
SNL
not connected to what's happening right now. I don't even... I guess it was SNL. I'm sure it was SNL. It had to be.
That doesn't sound like an SNL skit.
Yeah, it's true. Alright, what are we talking about? Blackface.
Are you talking about blackface?
So why are people getting mad now?
I don't know. I think the thing was they were talking about. Fuck, I'm trying to think. I think the current outrage. There's a bunch of people mad about people who previously did blackface, but right now they're mad because a bunch of kids. Again, this is
Did blackface.
This is purely from the Joe Rogan podcast, so he's probably wrong. But
He could never be wrong. How dare you?
he's Joe Rogan,
How can he
number
be wrong?
one podcast.
How can he be wrong? Anyways.
Never wrong. He's my saint.
I suck his dick any day.
I think he was talking with some dude named Tim. I can't remember his last name.
Tim Allen?
Tim something. And he said they were talking about a bunch of kids who at like a basketball game or something, they were wearing blackface and then they were doing like this, which was supposed to mean like get it like a three, get like a 3-pointer, right?
Okay.
It's the W sign with your hand,
Okay.
the OK sign with your hand.
The okay sign. They got them all.
They got them, but apparently this is also a sign for white power. No joke. I think the W is supposed to represent white, and then apparently like this is supposed to be a P, which represents power. So not only were they wearing blackface, but they were also doing white power. So there was a lot of controversy on that.
Well, they're kids. I don't think they would had the.
Apparently, they were just wearing blackface because their team's colors were black.
Yeah, I imagine that's
It was
probably
like
what it was.
it was like game paint or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it had to be.
Nah, they're racist.
They
dude.
are racist. Come on, who would do that? Normal people, just kids with flaws? No, never.
No, racist.
Racist white kids who hate black and Mexicans.
That's what they do. That's why they wore it. That's why I said white power, dude. They weren't trying to get a 3-point. They were trying to do white power.
What else would they do it?
It's not like they have full lives ahead of them and they want to ruin their lives because they're stupid kids. Nah.
Let's talk about SJWs.
Let's talk about Kathy Griffin trying to dox, trying to dox a kid for a bunch of kids for wearing a MAGA hat.
Now time for us to get doxxed. Let's talk about Kathy Griffin.
Names. I need names.
I need their address. I need their email addresses.
Social Security. That's all I'm asking for.
I think it's wrong. I think you should definitely. I think if you advocate to dox someone, I think you are definitely wrong for doing that.
I think you yourself should be doxxed.
Oh no.
I don't really believe that.
Oh my porn. No.
It's retarded. On the Joe Rogan podcast, they brought her up because Joe Rogan recently did a podcast.
Sponsored by Joe Rogan.
Recently did a podcast with Jack Dorsey, right?
Never heard of him.
He's the CEO of Twitter.
Wow. Okay. Go
Maybe you should have heard of him.
I should, yeah. Especially if we're doing Twitter.
So they were talking about how Kathy Griffin was doing some. How, like, why hasn't she been banned? Because doxing is very clear against the terms of service. But, like, Jack just, like, kind of pranced around the subject and didn't really answer. At the end of the day, he was like, oh, I don't know.
So
right?
what you're saying is he's a wuss. He backed down because he didn't want to get Twitter mobs.
But also, Joe Rogan didn't really press him hard enough.
Of course he didn't.
I guess you could say that.
Alright. I fucking hate Twitter. I hate the people who are in there. I hate people
Twitter's bad.
I hate Twitter, dude. Honestly. Honest to God, this is...
You hear a lot of people talking about Twitter and how they constantly...
And how they mob people?
No, how they're constantly talking about how... How
they speak their
how much
that
like
they shouldn't
hate
speak?
how much hate is on it, and then I think about it and I'm like, dude, I'm like never on Twitter.
I've just started using Twitter mostly because I follow people. I just follow people on there, just for them. I don't go on it for any reason. I don't tweet 2,000 tweets. But, God, dude, it's so bad.
Twitter's bad.
It's too political. It's too many outspoken people that should not be speaking. I think that's also hypocritical of me to say because I'm speaking my opinion right now. But I digress.
But listen, my opinion is better than theirs. Listen,
Exactly.
Did they have a podcast called the Aimless Podcast? Didn't think so. Listen, that's all I'm trying to get at. Like, listen, if you want to be heard, just be on the Aimless Podcast.
Exactly. If you want to speak your opinions, just follow us on Aimless Podcast YouTube. Oh fuck, we gotta take that name too on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's okay. YouTube allows for multiple users to have the same name.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why they have verified marks and shit now.
Ah, okay.
Because you can have the exact same name and picture as...
What we're saying is we're become verified first.
Yeah.
You're gonna beat...
Aimless Podcast, you better hurry up.
We're beat you to it, bitch. I'm sorry. This is all fun and games, right? We are fun.
Listen.
We don't know him personally.
I love Aimless Podcast.
I do as well. I followed him
He's the best. Everybody go and like Aimless Podcast.
Yes.
Subscribe to Aimless Podcast.
We'll put his link in the chat.
He needs the love. He has 22 subscribers. We have 0. We're just trying to be helpful, you know?
Exactly. Anyways. Back to Twitter.
Back to Twitter.
I hate the SJWs.
What about the SJWs do you hate?
I hate
The fact that they have small brains?
I hate
That they have like a crooked leg, they can't walk straight?
a robotic leg and a shark-bait arm.
Like if you had like a straight line, they would like walk to the side a little bit, then they'd have to course correct.
And they say, no, I was straight the whole
No,
time.
no, listen guys. I'm on your side.
I just don't agree with your opinions.
I'm just an SJW.
That's just...
But see, nobody wants to willingly be called an SJW now because it's so derogatory. The only people who really want to be called that are people who are like hardcore, like don't listen to zero criticism at all, don't respond to anybody or anything. I feel like those are the only people who really call themselves SJWs.
I don't believe in SJWs.
I don't think they're real.
I think that's just a term that was created. No bullying here. Come on, guys.
Listen,
All fun and
come on,
games.
come on. There's a reference to Quentin Reviews. Quentin Reviews is the best channel, period.
He's burned down all of his bridges. I don't know what you're talking about. He's on our side, guys.
He's lovely. I love him.
I have his beard. I want to just give it a little smooch.
I want him to eat something, it to drop into his beard, and then me crawl towards him and eat it out of his beard.
I want it to be ASMR as well.
I want him to eat something, it to fall into his beard, him to shave off his beard, it to fall into the trash, and then me eat his beard out of the trash.
Because that's all I'm good
That
for.
is disgusting. I cannot imagine that.
Can't imagine anyone loving Quentin Reviews that much. To be fair, I did like Quentin Reviews in the beginning. Back when he wasn't.
He was okay. Listen, Quentin Reviews was good. I watched like 1 or 2 videos of him. I subscribed. I watched another video, then I unsubscribed because I didn't like the next video. However, he made good content. I wouldn't say reviewing film because he didn't really review it, right? He just talked about it.
Just to talk about it, yeah.
He kind of reviewed it a little bit.
He did the kind of hack thing where like the plot's this and the plot happens there. He did that, and then he just
It's
does,
like,
and then he speaks his own mind.
do you watch 24 Frames of Nick?
No, I do not. I've seen his channel around though.
He's good, but he doesn't review.
He doesn't review. He talks about it.
He talks about it. He's not like at the end of the day
He's
saying,
not giving it a 6-hour critique that you got to put in 3 different parts.
10 out of 10, too much water.
Mahler. I love Mahler. Anyways. But no, I think what's happened to Quentin is...
Sad.
It's not sad
It's
at
real
all. That's more of his fault than anything
Sad.
else.
I'm sad.
I'm very sad. My favorite YouTube...
You can tell in my voice that I've been crying for hours.
I still haven't stopped.
Every time I think about it, a new tear falls out of my eye.
Quentin tear.
Dude, I love Quentin Reviews.
I do. That's why I unsubscribed for him.
I love him so much that I will not support him. Alright, so just so everybody knows, this is a purely anime podcast. That's why we've been talking.
That's why we talk about SJWs and Quentin Reviews.
That's why we talked about those subjects. So onto the
Onto the real
stuff.
Yeah.
Anime.
So One Piece.
So One Piece. I don't want to get into One Piece.
Okay, not this episode.
One Piece would be one hell of a rant that I'm not about to get into.
It sounds like he hates it. Do you hate it?
I love One Piece.
I hate no. I'm only a few chapters in, so I have no opinion on it. But I've had
It's a great series. If you want to waste 2 months of your time doing nothing but consuming one form of media, read One Piece. Anyways,
right.
have you been watching any anime this season?
I've been watching 2. The Promised Neverland and Domestic Girlfriend.
What's the second one?
Domestic Girlfriend. Okay, so basically the plot is it starts. Oh, okay. Well, should I put spoilers? Yeah, like how in depth do I want to go with this? Because
Do the first episode.
Okay, I'll do the first episode.
And then
And I'll
say
stop there.
Yeah, then that's it.
Can I talk about the first episode and just like spoil the first episode?
No, yes, do it.
I'll do the plot synopsis.
All right.
Okay, so basically it's about this guy. Who...
End.
Okay, that's it. Spoilers at this point. So basically, he has sex with this girl, and then he finds out his dad's getting remarried. Oh fuck, I already fucked this up. And he also had a crush on his teacher.
Mm.
And then he finds out the woman that his dad is marrying is the mother of the teacher and the girl he had sex with.
I'm lost.
Okay. He has sex with a girl.
Okay.
Then they parted ways.
All right.
He explains how he has a crush on his teacher.
Okay.
And then he finds out his dad is getting remarried.
With the teacher?
No.
With his girlfriend?
With the teacher's mother.
Okay.
They don't. I don't know that. I don't know how old the teacher is. That's the weird part. Cause she lives with her mom.
She's a teacher, right? So she has to be
at least 20.
She has to be of age.
She has to be of age. Yes.
Yes.
But she still lives with her mother and youngest sister.
What kind of teacher still lives with her mother, dude?
I don't know.
Like, listen, they don't make the greatest.
They don't explain that.
Listen, they don't make the greatest pay or anything, but like, come on.
Yeah, at least like be able to support yourself. Anyways, so the plot is he accidental incest. It basically becomes
He
sister.
fucks his dad.
Yes. So basically, he becomes sister with the girl he has sex with, and he also becomes sister with the teacher that he has a crush on.
How does he become a sister with the girl he had sex with?
I mean, no, they become siblings with.
Okay, how does he become siblings with?
Because their dad remarried to the mother of those two.
So the teacher was the sister of his girlfriend.
Of this girl he had sex with, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a sister. They're both sisters.
That's quite the plot.
That is very cool.
So what
very
kind of
much so.
kind of anime is this? Is it like a slice of life or like a drama or romance?
Drama romance, I think.
Mm.
They handled some pretty heavy themes.
Maybe stuff.
Some depression.
I haven't been watching any anime this season.
I know you haven't.
I watched Mob Psycho. That's it.
I watched first episode of Mob Psycho. It's pretty good.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Mob Psycho. 3 episodes.
I think there's like 5 episodes.
So far, there hasn't been like an overarching plot, but then again, I mean, it's a gag anime.
Mob Psycho.
It's Mob Psycho. You don't really expect anything. I was kind of let down by the first couple episodes. It looked good.
I love the first episode.
Really?
I thought it was.
I thought it was okay. I didn't love it or anything. It didn't hook me like the first episode.
It didn't hook me. I just thought it's a great episode, and then I just stopped.
You stopped there.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think that's enough for it to say like. I think that's worth like getting into.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, domestic girlfriend. It's pretty
Domestic girlfriend or
domestic girlfriend.
domestic?
Domestic.
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 Domestic girlfriend. How many times have you said domestic? 5?
10.
Take a shot every time we say domestic.
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 Domestic. Fuck, you're drunk. Okay.
Anyways, it's pretty spicy anime. I started watching it on Gigax.
His recommendation?
Yes. Also follow Gigax. He's a good guy.
Fuck Gigik. Follow us.
but it's a pretty interesting plot so far. The good dialogue.
How many episodes have you watched?
5. I think I might start.
Is that how many are out?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I think I might start getting into.
Is it fucking releasing episodes on Wednesdays?
I don't know.
It's because Mob Psycho is doing that. They're releasing every new
Mondays.
Mondays, whatever. Not on the weekend is what I'm trying to get at.
Mondays.
They need to stop doing that.
I don't know.
The only reason I can guess is that maybe they do it for their little Japanese audience, little boy Japanese audience.
Because they're only off on Wednesdays.
Not off on Wednesday. Just like they get up in the morning and they watch it.
Watch it in the morning.
Before school.
I guess, yeah. Makes sense. I have no knowledge of Japanese, even though I speak the language of the...
I am 110% fluent in Japanese. However, I cannot speak a single Japanese word.
Speak it now.
I can't.
Emoshiyori. Alright.
Itadakimasu.
Anyways. Other than that, I've also been watching... God, I don't want to spoil The Promised Neverland to you. It's...
Even the first episode would spoil it?
Pretty much, yeah. But
You have to give like a rough estimation because I don't want to just dive into it without...
It's a plot... It kind of reminds you of Death Note. It's kind of like a cat and mouse chase.
How good is the first chapter?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
First episode, it's pretty interesting. And then the more you start watching, the more like you get invested, like how they get...
What type of...
I think...
What is it?
What's
What's the genre?
I would say probably horror.
Horror.
I don't know. It's more. I think horror thriller. I think. I think that's how I would define it. Because I saw a video. I didn't watch it. I just saw the thumbnail about a video saying how it reinvented
I rated
horror.
this game 10 out of 10. Didn't play it.
Didn't play it. A 10 out of 10 though.
Best game ever.
Best
Game of the
ever.
generation. Game of the century.
Game of the boomer generation.
Listen, Gen X, I'll have you know.
Gen Z here. Generator.
Anyway.
Anyways, so it's pretty. I guess I'll just explain the plot.
Horror. You don't have to explain it. If it's gonna give away a really good story, you don't have to explain it.
It's just. I'll tell you how it starts.
Okay.
It starts with these 3 kids, and like.
I hate it already.
It starts with these like kids at a farm. Shit.
Is that a big plot hole?
No.
Did you just say something you shouldn't?
I did. No. So it starts at an orphanage.
Okay.
And it's these 3 kids. So they do these tests to see who's the smartest. And there's these 3 kids. And Emma, Ray, and Norman. They're the smart kids.
Norman.
Yeah. And when they turn 12.
They're not actual siblings. They just live together in Norman.
Yeah, they all live together. But they might as well be siblings.
Okay.
Because they live together for like their whole lives. And so they basically do these tests to see who's the smartest and like who is.
Alright. Let me just pause your idea because I just had the stupidest idea ever.
Oh god, alright, here we go.
Say you go to an orphanage, right? And you find some kids that you really connect with or whatever that you like want to adopt. And you like take them home, right? And then like a week in, you decide, dude, I hate these kids. Can you return the kids?
I mean, that's a valid question.
I want to know if there's a return policy.
I don't think there is. I think they make you sign peppers. I think they make you sign papers so that you cannot do that.
But like they got into the orphanage in the first place, right? Somebody had to abandon them in the first place.
Yeah.
So I can do the same, right?
But as soon as you sign the papers, I think
I'm legally binded to them.
yes. I'm sure that's how it works.
If
it doesn't, then it should work like that.
I remember
That would not make any sense.
I remember hearing somewhere that you have to like spend actual time with them in the orphanage before they actually go to your house.
No, I think that too. Yeah.
So like you don't just pick kids that you don't want.
I think that too.
How fucked is it to like have kids that you see every day and then they just stop coming one day? You're like, oh, I guess.
Pretty sad.
It's real sad. This is the sad podcast now.
This is sad. The hopeless
Sad
podcast
cast.
now, yeah.
Hopeless podcast.
If Aimless has any grievances with us calling ours,
Listen, dude, we can say we're true to the word aimless.
it's true.
Talking about orphanage,
We
anime.
talked about so many things. We've already talked about like 12 topics at this point.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
I want to discuss 12 Angry Men.
Okay, yeah, great. I'm good with that.
So
12 Angry Men. I'll do the plot synopsis. It's
Do it.
basically about these 12 angry men who are on jury who have to.
go on.
That's
go on.
the title. It's done.
Go on.
We're done.
Listen, it's about 12 angry men. What more do you need? They're men. They're angry. Come on, there's 12 of them.
You're right. When you're right,
You gotta be passing that.
So they're on jury, and they have to decide the fate of this kid who's put on who's been charged with murder of his father.
There's murder, and if his sentence goes through, he gets the death penalty.
Yep. And so that's the plot of the movie. Good movie. I highly recommend it. It was made in 1957, I think.
So
Or something.
immediately, everybody decides that the kid is guilty.
Yes. It's the movie.
One of the things I wanted to talk about was I like the way that they turned around some of the characters, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Like in the very beginning, we'll call them by their seat numbers.
Yeah, because that's how they're called by. Towards the end when you find out the 2 characters' names.
It's true. And I don't remember either of them. So
I think Travis and the other one. I don't remember.
Travis, I don't remember a Travis.
Or maybe his name was Davis.
Davis, I think one of their names was Davis. I think it was the old fuck.
That's no. He's number 8 is Davis. Because the old man goes.
Whatever, who cares? We're calling them by their seat names.
Spoiler alert.
Numero 8, the guy who initially says
He
not
doesn't know.
guilty,
Yeah.
or that he's skeptical.
Because there's reasonable doubt.
I like the way that they made the old guy transition.
Oh yeah.
I'm not too keen on some of them because I feel like they weren't fleshed out.
The only one that I would say that wasn't really fleshed out is the guy who was just like flopping back and forth. The guy with the hat and shit.
That guy, yeah. I don't like him
I
because
think Juror 7, that's his name.
Juror 7.
I did not like him either.
I didn't like him, but that doesn't mean he was a terrible character. I didn't like the end to his, I guess you'd call it a character arc. I don't know.
He didn't have a character. It's more like
he never really concretely changed his mind.
he just did it because whatever.
He changed his mind and then he got told off, and then he just kind of became a beta male for the rest of the movie. He never really talked up after that. Yeah. The only real other sign he had was when racist dude like was talking, and then he kind of like turned away.
He didn't talk about racism, right?
Huh?
That guy, juror number, what was his name?
8, 9. I think he was 10. I think he was 10. Yeah, he was 10.
No. There was.
No, he was absolutely 10.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, and I think none of them remember.
He was talking about racism because he talked about like how kids were just coming from the slums and stuff.
Yeah, you know about them.
You
know about them.
Come on, you know about them.
They're animals. You know what I'm talking about? I do. Now sit down. Don't speak again. I love that scene, dude. It's fucking great.
It's great, but I don't think. Okay, so I also don't like him because at the end of the day,
the racist dude or
the racist dude, because he just kind of bows down.
He does because like he knows he's wrong.
I guess I don't know. It doesn't feel like he concretely changes his mind.
He felt ashamed for what
like some of them changed their minds. The other one was 12. The dude was like the businessman.
Yeah, I didn't like him either.
I didn't like him.
He was more flimsy than number 7.
Yeah. Like number...
Because he flopped like twice.
Who was it? Number 3, right? Number 3 came over and was like, are you really going to believe this guy? And he's like, nah, you know what? I changed.
I changed my mind.
Guilty.
Did you believe there's a reasonable doubt? Not guilty.
It was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't really like him.
Again, like, he didn't really pay attention to it either. Yeah, like, it was more like a different version of like how...
There's 12 characters. It's probably more realistic if they
12
don't...
angry men. 12 characters.
It's probably more realistic...
12 men!
It's probably more realistic if at the end of the day they just decided to whatever just to get it over with, right? It's probably more realistic that way, but I didn't think it made it as strong as it probably could have been. It's a great movie, but
I think it works for like being like a debate.
Yeah,
I think it works.
I also didn't like number 6.
Which one was number 6?
Number 6 was the dude who's like super like New Yorker.
Oh yeah,
he was like a construction man or a factory worker or something.
What I loved about number 6 was whenever he talked to juror number 8 in the bathroom, he's like, so like say if you like convince us all, what if he did kill his dad?
That was a good scene.
I liked that scene.
However,
I wish he kind of went into that more.
I didn't like him because he was quick to violence, and I fucking hate people like that.
No, but like he was more like honorable though.
No, he wasn't.
What are you talking about?
He was like
telling number 3 like, listen, if you keep yelling at old man,
I'm gonna beat your ass. But see, you don't have to go to beat your ass level. Just be like, dude, that's wrong. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
I don't like people who are quick to violence. He was very quick to violence.
He was, but he for right reasons though. Because you would think that guy would be an asshole for like yelling at the old man. Number 3.
And he is.
He is an asshole. More of his own prejudice.
But you don't... I just don't... I personally hate that fucking character.
But I understood why.
I understood why it's there. It's probably more realistic. However, I hate that kind of person.
I don't think it's more realistic. I think it's more like true to that character.
People who are quick to violence piss me off.
I understand.
They make me quick to violence. I wonder what that says. I hate myself.
Makes me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I turn green.
You wouldn't like me when I'm 12 angry men.
Like 12 men put in one.
The power of 12 angry men. That's your power. Your power is based on the movie title you've seen. I am Spider-Man Homecoming.
I am Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's talk about Spider-Man.
No. Let's finish 12 Angry Men. I don't want to talk about Spider-Man yet.
Okay, what do you have else to say about 12 Angry Men? That was really my only thing, was that some characters they felt weak, which I guess there are people who are weak. Like if I broke your kneecap, you'd probably just cry about it. You wouldn't be like, "What the fuck?" You might listen. Some people are
weak. If you
weak.
broke my leg right now, I probably would scream out top of my lungs.
I'm calling you weak. However,
I mean, if I broke your legs right now, would I call you weak? Yes.
Listen, you've let your knees get broken. Okay, I don't know what to say.
That is true. You're right. You're right.
Anyways, you see people who are weak, and I guess that can mean that they're depressed or that they're at low points in their life, right?
Like all of us.
Like us all.
So we're all weak in the inside.
I'm the weakest.
I may be strong, but inside I'm weak. But
I don't know. It just maybe it just pissed me off. Maybe that's what makes it a good movie. The fact that it pissed me off and it didn't just make me feel indifferent.
yeah, it makes you feel something. That's what good art does.
I am no film critic. I am not a nostalgia critic.
I know, Link.
I am no Doug Walker.
I've not seen any of his videos, so I can't.
I haven't seen a single one.
Neither have I. I'm not a fan of him.
No.
It's pretty accurate to say. But
I know.
anyways, that movie, it's pretty good. Watch it.
Watch it.
I think what I wish we could have seen more of is
I
the
wish we
case.
could have seen the end of it. How, like...
We did, though. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about, like, the very, very end. Like, when they went to the like, the next day, like, when they would... Eventually, the judge would be, like, not guilty.
Okay, I kind of wish that, too. But here's the point. I think...
See how maybe, like, the kid reacts or whatever?
I think this is the point of the movie. The point of the movie isn't really the case necessarily. It's more of the debate between these 12 Angry Men.
Whilst I agree,
I
I think it would have made it a stronger movie if it had shown the conclusion.
I think
the
so as
case.
well. That's why I wanted to say I wish we could have known more about the case, so that way we can like have more of an idea of like.
It's strange when you
But I
recommended
feel
it
like
to
that's
me,
more of like.
and I started watching it,
Mhm.
and it was like a black and white movie. I was like, am I watching the right thing?
Yeah, it's a pretty old movie, dude. It was made in
1950 something.
57. I said it like 3 times, I think. I'm sure it's 1957. I could be wrong.
1958. 1959. 1957.
Let's see. Were there any black people in there?
That really puts a. Black people were only allowed in film 2002.
Oh, come on. You're being too generous. 2001.
Alright. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
It was a great movie. I feel like it's a good movie for like if you like debates, if you like.
At first, you know, when I was like the first opening scene, you see all the men like file shuffling in. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna remember who's who.
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
I was like, I'm done. And then,
But towards the end, like they're all.
they flesh out the characters.
Yeah.
They give them actual characters,
Take notes,
which
DC.
is nice. And the actors do a good job. Nothing. I think what makes it great is the fact that it doesn't feel dated.
It doesn't. No, I feel like there are gonna be debates like this right now.
It feels really good. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
It feels like well, it does kind of feel like a timeless movie, but I don't.
It might not age super well. Because Juror 8 didn't walk out and say, lol, JK,
I wasn't
Right?
racist, guys.
LeMayo.
Yeah. He didn't put his AirPods on. I see he walked out.
He didn't pop in some AirPods. You know, modern day, that's obviously what would happen.
Yeah.
So it's a little dated.
Could you imagine them doing a like remake of 12 Angry Men?
I don't know. I was on YouTube and I was still debating, like, after I watched the movie, whether or not I watched the right movie. Because I don't know. It was well made, but I didn't know if I was watching the right one. So I went on YouTube and I saw there's like loads of plays and stuff done of it.
Plays.
Where people like high school plays and stuff.
High school plays.
Like, you know, how people play
Oh!
Romeo and Juliet.
They did plays with 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
I've seen quite a few. I assume it's probably one of those that gets plays quite often, so you're quite stupid for not knowing. However,
That's an egg on my face, isn't it?
I can't believe you wouldn't know that.
Of course.
That's kind of pathetic. However, yeah, lots of people do plays. So,
That's true. You can't deny that.
You can go. So you can go watch them.
I
However,
think you should watch the movie, not the plays.
Obviously.
Yeah.
However, I don't know, it's kind of like this podcast.
It's very aimless.
If you watch the play, it's gonna have really blown out audio, and you're gonna hear a lot of white
from like
noise.
a camera in the back of the audience.
It has really shitty audio, and you're like, why can't you just buy like a $50 mic, dude? Like, why do you have to make us sit through
And
this?
they're
You think
recording-
think anybody's gonna watch this shitty podcast with shitty audio with zero visuals? What's wrong with you?
Of course. But anyways.
Where we can't even tell who's who because it's the first episode.
I'm defeated here. You're right.
You can't get them there.
Yeah. Anyways, good movie. Who are
Good
your
movie.
favorite characters?
My favorite character. I really enjoyed Juror 4.
Me too. Me too, dude. I love
The
Juror 4.
fucko with the glasses.
Yeah.
He's probably dead now.
They're all dead, dude.
Are they?
I'm sure they have to be. Well, probably some of them are still alive. 1957 from 2000 to 2019.
It's been 50 years. They would be like, what, 80, 90?
A lot of them seem like they're in like their late 30s, late 20s.
Yeah, late 30s, so it's been...
Late 20s. So, let's
It's been like 60, 70 years. Fuck, they're probably all dead.
They're probably all dead, yeah. Especially some of the old guys. Aw.
No, the old guys are... They croaked a long time ago.
Yeah.
They're just CGI.
2 years.
The CGI looked really good in 1957.
Wow, look at you with that. Take notes, Rogue One. But anyways.
I'm gonna see if I can lower this just a little bit. Alright, that should be good.
Anyways, I love Juror 4.
Juror 4 was good. I enjoyed him, however, I feel like he didn't change it. He changed his mind too late. I understand that.
I don't think he changed mine too late, but go on.
I think it was too late because they had the final piece of evidence. The final piece of evidence with the woman, right? And he decides to change his mind because in his eyes that piece of evidence is so undoubtable that of course it is he has to be guilty, right? There's no reasonable doubt because that one piece of evidence is so absolute. However, from everything else, from like the train going by, everything else,
the movies,
I feel like there's too many things wrong for him to not have any doubt whatsoever.
he kept getting,
For some reason,
he kept getting disproved, but
yeah,
I think he still
he holds
the proof
that
was at the court.
I guess, but he holds that one piece of evidence above everything else, and he doesn't change his mind until every single piece of evidence they have is disproven.
But it took. We'll cut that out. It took everything up. It took all the proof getting disproved for him to like.
Yeah,
stop.
it felt like the only reason he decided he seemed too reasonable to have no doubt whatsoever.
But I think
until that point.
he more looked at the facts. He wasn't like, you know.
Unless the only way I could think about it is the fact that maybe he was slightly angry that he kept getting disproven, so he was like,
I don't think. Well, probably yeah. A little bit of like sportsmanship though.
Yeah, it's like if a really smart person keeps like one-upping you.
Yeah.
You're like, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah. It's like,
I feel like it might be sort of that.
I don't think so. I think he kept a reasonable level head for most of it.
Maybe.
Like there's never really a moment when he like lashed out. Well,
yeah.
Actually, he more like kind of raised his voice at points, but like he never got to the point of like number 3. God, number 3.
I hated number 3.
Me too.
He pissed me off. He was a good character. He pissed me off.
He was a great character, but God, dude, was he annoying. Every time he like kept like saying like, yeah, you tell him number 4. God, shut up. You're not making yourself look good, dude.
That's the point. He was the antagonist.
It's true. He was.
He had to make himself look bad.
I loved his character. Like
he was good.
The fact that he couldn't like convince anyone else that they needed to kill the kid. That it's great.
It's fucked. I don't think
I love the ending scene where
they didn't really make it clear what happened to his child, right?
No. What are you talking about? Of course.
They made it clear that he's gone.
That he left.
But did he die?
No, he ran away.
He ran away?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'd be implied. Otherwise, well, no, I'm sure that was what it was. Because then, like, you get getting pissed off about the kid and shit.
Yeah. And
then towards the end, when he said like "lousy mouth kid," you work your life out of. That seems more like a father to be more pissed at his kid for like running away after putting his life on hold just to take care of that kid. So I think he saw. I think it's meant to be taken more like. Yeah. He was mad at his son for being ungrateful, so he's taking it out on the kid who like murdered his father.
Yeah. I guess I get it. It was very open-ended, which I guess is nice.
It's good.
There isn't a definite explanation for everything.
There isn't, but like I think all of it's like up for debate. Which makes it like more conversation.
A movie about debating, up for debate. Can you imagine?
Oh boy, can I! I wonder if they have a subreddit. Building Your Men.
Doubtful. The fucking movie came out in '57, dude.
But like they still like some subreddits. I imagine would talk about it.
They might reference it, but I thought there's a dedicated subreddit exclusively for the movie.
I mean, I don't know. We haven't checked, but who knows?
It's true.
So I would totally recommend the movie. It's definitely not for everyone.
Do you think so?
I don't know. It depends on like. Because nowadays people really like dumb movies. Really like dumb movies. Aquaman. That's all I need to say.
Listen, everybody likes Aquaman.
People love Jason Momoa.
You never saw the movie. You have no right to talk.
You're right. We're back.
Got you there. Got you there.
You're right.
Got you there.
But anyways, Batman v Superman.
Any who's it? Batman vs Superman. Okay, that's a good place to start. But I feel like the reason people like it is it's more cultish rather than they actually like it. Like if, say, you erased their memory and then you just sent them in to see it, they wouldn't enjoy it.
Erase your memory, like how far? Like of this
Like,
idea?
Erase their memory of all DC things. So they're not a fan.
Oh, so we're not talking about 12 Angry Men.
So they're not a fan. You know, we're talking about Batman vs Superman.
Oh God. Okay.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't know we were friends with Tinker. 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, we're
We'll talk
finished.
about more.
But if you erase their entire memory and you sent them in, they would hate it.
Of course they would. And even if
Or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe people are just that stupid.
because fanboys are, dude. Like, I don't know if people know this, but fanboys are retarded.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say retarded.
It's too far. I can't believe you said that.
Sorry. That's one thing you don't have to cut out. But like, it amazes me how people like this movie.
It's quite
It's quite interesting.
It's quite baffling.
It's quite baffling. Yeah.
I feel like nobody really enjoys the movie. The only people who enjoy the movie are people who do not think critically about movies, like say your parents.
Well,
right?
no. My family go see it. They didn't like it.
Really?
I called my oldest sister since she saw it. I asked her, "What do you think about it?" She said, "Too confusing. Didn't like it." So.
But like, I feel like my parents don't have like a critical eye. They'll watch something, and so long as it's.
You're gonna regret saying that with your parents hear this.
It has. They're not gonna hear it. Don't worry.
Anyways.
That's why it's not going to my channel. But once they see it and everything, they won't.
They won't like process it.
Yeah, they don't process it and think about it later. So they'll be like, "That was a great movie" or whatever, right? And then they'll like never
Good
think
for the
about
moment.
it
Then
again.
they'll never think about it, which is probably for the best.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
And then you have the fanboys, which I feel like are the only people, the fanboys, and then the like super middle-aged people who
just love these, which I'm going to become.
Who don't like, dude. I'm so scared of that happening when I become like 40 or something, and like I can't look at shit critically anymore. I
have no idea.
I just start consuming things and just like thoroughly enjoying
That's pretty great, but there's a plot. No.
What have I become? I feel like that's gonna become me, dude.
Well, probably by the time we're both 70. I don't know. Harrison Ford's still
maybe. I hope I die by the time I'm 70.
Yeah, I don't want to live too long. Probably like.
I want to live. Okay, the only way I would happily live till I'm 70 is if I'm constantly working out. But by the time I'm 70, I cannot have a job. I have to be living purely on money that I earned earlier in my life, and I have to be working out. I have to be working out constantly. That's the only way I can see having a fun 70-year-old life.
It's true, yeah.
I'm sure everybody says that until they're 70, and then they're like, "Dude, I want to live to be 100."
Fuck that.
I feel like it's too far. You have to have a cutoff point. Because I hear like even if you work out like really hardcore, once you hit 80, it starts going down.
Yeah, just look at Arnold.
Is he 80 already?
He's 70, I think.
Sure I doubt he works out every day though.
No, not anymore at least. Maybe he still like kind of keeps up, like keeps shape.
Maybe a little bit.
But God, he doesn't look great now. Like if you compare his body to like now to like back then, like God, he was a beast.
Man,
good Lord.
It's so sad when you like see like older people and they're like, "No, I still have things I want to do." It's like, dude, you're like 90. Like, you can die like tomorrow, dude.
You gotta stop, man.
Listen, your life's been good enough. Maybe it hasn't. Fuck you. Die already.
So all you old
we have to pay all this money
watching,
for antibiotics. Die already.
For all you old people listening, die already from Jonathan.
From me.
From me to you.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
But anyways.
Shit, it's Valentine's Day.
No, not
No, it's not. Oh, it's Valentine's
tomorrow.
Day.
It's 2 days from now. It's the 14th.
Fuck, you're right.
Release this on Valentine's Day.
Hey everybody, while you're sitting with your special someone, talk about
Talk about
talk about pulling the plug on some old people.
My Valentine's Day, Grandpa.
Happy Valentine's Day, Grandpa. I love you a lot.
Anyways, Batman v Superman. Where were we?
It's a bad movie.
Very bad.
Let's
movie.
move on.
Bad DC like.
Let's move on to the
Bad
debate
universe.
of the century: Spider-Man versus
Homecoming.
Spideyverse versus.
Homecoming.
Stop it. Spideyverse versus.
The Sam Raimi's.
Stop it. Spideyverse versus.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Infinity War. I couldn't remember the name for Infinity War. So every time
Infinite Warfare.
So every time he kept saying new words, it kept fucking me up.
Anyways,
Spideyverse is definitively a better movie than Infinity War.
I would agree, but there's a lot of people who would disagree. A lot of people I would not think would disagree.
I want to hear you play devil's advocate. Why would you say Infinity War is a better movie?
I always love all the characters. I love it. They're all like 20. They're all like over the span of 20 movies, guys. That was what makes it special. No, okay, but seriously, I don't.
See, it's that hard. The only
But like, here, no.
the only argument I can personally put forth is that you have developed all these characters and seeing them all clash in one place
It's cool.
is cool. It's fulfilling. It makes you feel like time wasn't wasted. Because the same thing happens with One Piece. Like with One Piece, they have characters that they get rid of and then they bring back, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that, right? It's great. So I can feel like the same thing would happen in like Infinity War.
Yeah, we have all the characters like band together for this one huge.
That's why
event.
the movie is shitty, because you need to watch 50 other movies to know who these characters are.
Granted, you did not do that.
I did not do that. I watched Infinity War, and then the last Marvel movie I watched was Homecoming.
Ant versus the Wasp.
No, it was Homecoming, and I think the movie before that was The Last Avengers.
Age of Ultron.
I think so.
Dear God.
Then before that, I think it was
Avengers.
maybe like an Iron Man movie or some shit.
Iron Man 2?
I don't fucking remember. Something, and
Before
then The
Silent.
Last Avengers. So I haven't watched many Marvel movies.
I've watched them all.
However, you've watched them all.
Yeah.
You watched Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Fuck no.
That's one of the movies.
I watched them all up to Infinity War. But I will not subject myself to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What's not to love? What, do you hate women?
Women have nothing to do with it.
What are you talking about? Wasp is in the name! She's a...
Wasp is a female? I thought Wasp was a dude.
No! No!
I didn't know
Maybe
that.
he looks like a man. No, cut that out.
Cut that out.
No, okay, anyways. Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's a female.
I didn't know that. Anyways, let's move on from that garbage movie.
Do you not want to watch Paul Rudd and the Wasp?
No. I want to watch Paul Rudd like swatting wasps that are trying to sting him.
I didn't watch that.
Like for like 60 minutes straight. Like he's like trying to do yard work and then this wasp keeps trying to fuck with him. And he keeps...
Fucking Wasp.
He's like, I'm fucking done with these wasps. And he goes grabs like a can of like aerosol. And he, like he gets like he gets like 3 of the like nest. And he's like he thinks he's done. Then like a week later he has to like fucking swat one away again.
And he has to like, and it's all
And he like
happening.
calls him like an exterminator.
And Ant-Man comes up.
Anyways, garbage
Infinity
movie.
War.
So Infinity War, it needed all these movies to make it good, right? And it's a good movie, but it needed it needed this base work. Spideyverse only needed the base work of Spider-Man. Period.
Which everyone knows.
Everybody knows the tale of Spider-Man.
But to be fair, they did set up in the beginning.
I have watched one Spider-Man movie
Homecoming.
aside from Spideyverse, and that is Homecoming. I never watched a single Sam Raimi movie.
Wanna watch them? I haven't watched them.
No. I do not want to subject myself to that. And I haven't read any of the comics, but I know I've maybe seen some like TV shows, right, with him. And I understand his character. I don't fucking remember. That was when I was like 2.
Oh, yeah.
But I understand his character, right? So
What's his character?
his character is he's Spider-Man.
Okay, good enough.
There you go. See, that's all you need to say. People know who Spider-Man is.
Like
It's like
that's the
saying
thing.
it's like saying who Iron Man is. People just know who Iron Man is now.
Like saying Superman. It's probably a better example.
Like Superman, right? Everybody just knows who that is.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man only had that.
Yeah.
Marvel had to create everything else to get to Infinity
Like
War.
nobody knows who the fuck this fucking
Who Black
Scarlet
Panther
Witch
is. The fuck's Black Panther?
What are you, racist? What, do you not want him to win an Oscar?
No, listen, no. I wanted him to win an Oscar. However,
I don't.
was Black Panther like a big comic before?
It was made before the Black Panther movement,
Mhm.
but it wasn't really a big comic either. I mean, it was there. It was just on the sidelines.
Yeah, listen, I understand that it existed, but
Was he a big character?
yeah,
No,
he wasn't like a household name, right?
not really. No,
So you have to establish
but
that.
people knew of him. He was like probably I don't know. I was gonna say B, but that B-list character, but that's I think put him too high.
But see, so you
No,
have
because he's black. But
because he's black. But see, so you need this framework, and without that framework, it's hard to dive into Infinity War. You can just dive in to Spideyverse because you don't need that previous framework, and say, okay, so say you know all about Spider-Man, you know all the movies, right, of Marvel or whatever, and you still go into Avengers. Was it 3, 4? Which one's is Infinity War? Infinity War is 4, right?
3.
3. Okay, 3.
Avengers 3.
Say you go into Avengers 3 Infinity War
Electric Boogaloo.
with all the knowledge, you go to Spideyverse with all the knowledge. I still think, with all that said, Spideyverse is still the better film.
I think it's a better film as well. But trying to play devil's advocate. God, even playing devil's advocate, it's just like there's not really much left for me in Infinity War. The only thing that's like keeping me tied to Infinity War is like the ending. But even then, you know those
I
characters
feel like
coming back.
I feel like it's a thing with
Like
again,
Thanos
like
is a
with
great
people who
character.
don't think critically about films. They watch it once and then they never think about it again, and then they just go watch the next one.
Like I think people
Like I watch a movie and then I think about it. I stew on the movie for a little bit. And when I first watched Infinity War, I thought it was a great movie. And then I thought about it. Then more and more plot holes showed up, and I was like, "It's a good movie, but I wouldn't call it great anymore."
No, I don't think it was great to begin with. Like here's the thing.
You watched it like 10 times, didn't you? What are you talking about?
I did because I was bored. But also
How many times did you watch Spideyverse? 3 times. That's what I thought.
4.
That's what I thought.
I need to watch more now. But also, I think the Infinity War itself isn't that great, but I think the achievement of the cinematic universe building up to this moment is pretty great.
It's an achievement. I will say it
That's
is definitely.
that's what it has over Spider-Verse.
It's a
but
good.
but Spider-Verse beats it in everywhere else in the park.
See, I would watch Infinity War again. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I would watch Spideyverse 10 more times.
I would as well.
It's just, I think they're different qualities of good.
Yeah, because I feel like you can rewatch Spider-Verse and like re-notice some things that you didn't notice in the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, I think
Like how the main character is black. I didn't notice that.
that's your Chinese audience. Just keep an eye out there.
You think it's gonna get released in China?
I don't think so. They didn't release Ghostbusters. Well, to be fair,
I thought Ghostbusters was because they thought it was witchcraft or something.
no, that's true. But also, I enjoyed Spider-Verse a lot. I think a lot more impact than Infinity War. I believe because the punch is gone once you know all these characters coming back. Like the fact they released Far From Home before, like the trailer for Far From Home before Avengers 4 came out, boggles the mind.
I
I think
don't
it's
say.
stupid on their part, but it's Sony, so I wouldn't expect anything less.
Say. What are we at, like 4 months out before the next Avengers comes out?
Yeah.
I'm stoked to see it. Once I see it, I think it's over.
Yeah, me too. I think
it's
I'm
over.
just done watching Marvel movies after that because we built it up to this point, and I'm just ready to see the end. I
Well-
don't want to continue it. It's like it's like with comics, like they do all these big events, and then like the more they keep doing them, the more it dilutes
See,
the
it's
universe.
it's easy to say that when you don't know the future, but when you're looking out like in the past, you're like, oh, I can't believe it would ever end or whatever. But in it's hard. I don't know. It's hard to say where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a good place.
I
feel like they're gonna
be a place of mediocrity.
They're gonna.
The only way I can see them getting out of it is if they just. Like,
I feel like maybe once in a while they'll have a good movie, but it's gonna be the same movie. It'll be a good movie, but at some point you're gonna say, where does it end?
Yeah.
There has to be an end.
Mm.
Like, you can't just continually have these movies without a definite end.
Like, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. But I think what they need to do to be able to survive this like kind of mediocrity that they're stuck in is just let directors make whatever with these characters. Like, have these actors make it an alternate timeline. Don't focus on this like fucking cinematic universe anymore, because that's just gonna hold it down. I honestly feel like it's holding down a lot of the movies.
I feel you. The problem is obviously they're continuing these series for a reason, and it's because people still consume them. People still buy comic books, right?
They still do. Well, yeah, mostly.
Comic books still come out. People still buy them. I feel the reason why they don't want to do it is because they'll let down fans. If one day you
do they care about the fans?
Listen, at some level they have to. You have to assume somebody who's doing nothing but doing comics they have to like kind of trick themselves, right? They have to like hypnotize, or maybe not, or whatever. After a while they're gonna say, I don't want to stop, because if I stop I'm not gonna be giving the fans what they want, right? The fans want this to continue.
But at some point, what matters most? Telling a good story or giving the fans what they want?
Obviously telling a good story, but I feel like Marvel's already crossed that point.
That's true, yeah.
If they don't...
Like, I can see where Marvel can go after.
Because they're not going to stop with or what is it?
Infinity War and Thanos and shit.
What Endgame.
Endgame, yeah.
They're not going to finish with Endgame. They're going to continue on.
There's just
whether or not...
They'll create the new Avengers, whatever it's called.
Yeah, they'll make a new Avengers.
Avengers, Stark Avengers, and
Avengers 2.
Avengers 2.0, Electric.
But when they continue, whether or not it just has to end. I don't know. I feel like people, you need to consume different forms of media from different like worlds.
I feel like a lot of people are going to say that about One Piece, but
One Piece has a definite end though. It's going to end. It has been reaching a climax. The shit that they're doing, there's a definite end. There's not a definite end to Marvel movies. It's villain of the week shit.
Like,
every
there's
movie,
so many villains that they just kill them off.
Every fucking movie, there's a new villain. Yeah. The only one you could say that about is Thanos. That's it.
I think there's actually 2 other characters that they kept alive, but I never.
Red Skull.
Yeah. Red Skull. I'm honestly surprised you remember him.
I don't remember the movie with him. I don't remember that captain. I did watch that movie. I have no recollection of it.
That just goes to show, doesn't it?
But I remember I remember his face.
Yeah, because he's a red fucking skull. How you gonna not remember his face?
How you gonna forget him? But I don't know. They need to end their series.
I think so as well.
That's all I have to say.
I think. Well, they're not going to. So the only
The only
way they combat this is like let directors just make memorable movies in their own like contained narrative. Let them just do that. If it's a good story, don't let it be connected to anything else. Let it be its own story about like characters and shit. Let them go from point A to point B. Let them be like totally different people by the end of the movie. Do that, because this is what they need to do for this like cinematic universe. They need to keep the status quo. They need to keep these characters the same so that people can recognize them easily.
I don't know. They're going down a route that I do not personally enjoy.
Me neither, dude. Trust me.
However,
that's why I've just stopped reading comics in general.
However, there's still an audience for it, obviously.
I mean, people are gonna keep watching it. Yeah, that's true.
They're still gonna consume it. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they should continue making these movies for the next generation of people. I mean,
it's good for people who like want to watch Marvel movies or like superhero movies in general. Give people more jobs and shit. So I think that's good.
I think the real problem is that if you continue these things for like more than like a couple decades, right? You'll never be able to have somebody look back and say that's timeless, like you do with like 12 Angry Men, right?
Yeah.
Or with like other series, like
probably people will debate that it's not timeless, but it's still memorable.
Yeah, whatever.
It's more memorable than a lot of Marvel movies.
stuff that's old that you remember for fucking ever because it has gravitas to it. It is gravitas. You can tell I'm real educated.
Yeah, you have the big words. The smart one here. I'm sure
that's how you know I'm real smart.
I don't even read One Piece. I speak big words.
But unless you imbue something with some kind of meaning into it, it's not long lasting. It'll be forgotten to the sands of time.
It's true. But also, not a lot of people watch movies for meaning or entertainment for meaning either.
That's true, but that's why they get lost in time. There have been shitloads of movies that have been made, but if I told you to remember like the top 10 of your movies,
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill will always be remembered, dude.
Timeless movie.
Best movie ever.
Adam Stanley, please be on a podcast. I beg you.
Obviously, but the good old Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler in his podcast.
Adam Sandler. But
Adam Sandler. Rob Schneider.
But if you named like your top 10 movies, right? They would all be movies from like a decade ago or something, or maybe more recent movies or shit, right?
There's only one recent movie that's in like my top 5 right now.
Mine's Spider-Verse. That's it.
Spider-Verse, yeah. It's the Anomalisa, Max and something.
I couldn't name my top 5 because I don't have them off the top of my head.
Max and Ruby.
Max and Ruby?
No, not that. There's this other movie called Max and something else.
Yeah, Max and Ruby.
Yeah, no. There's this other movie that I watched recently.
Nickelodeon show.
Yes.
Nick Jr. show.
The Nick Jr. show. Timeless.
Max and Ruby.
Not Max and Ruby. It's called something else. Max and something.
I haven't thought about Max and Ruby in forever.
I'll kind of look it up. Hold on.
But my point is if you thought about it, there would only be recent movies and movies from a long time ago. You can't memorize that many movies from that long ago because they get lost to time.
They do get lost to time. Fuck. What a press.
Dude, who cares? It's Max and something.
Because it's a good movie. Because that movie, I feel, is timeless. Well, kind of in a way. Maybe not timeless, but more like you can watch that movie. It's probably pretty boring for most people, honestly, but it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But what was you saying?
Nothing. All I'm saying is that if they don't try to put some sort of meaning or ending, some sort of finality to these films,
a climax.
They're just gonna.
It's like Star Wars. It ended with Episode 6. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about Star Wars now. Oh boy.
Girl, Star Wars. Fuck Star Wars. I don't want to talk about Star Wars.
Alright. Next episode.
I hate Star Wars. There you go.
I'm a fan of Star
Pause.
Wars, but I hate it now. Anyways. You're right. There needs to be a finality for some things. The more you continue it, the more like no one's gonna care for it.
It's like Naruto, Boruto. Nobody gives a shit about Boruto because it ended with Naruto.
Nobody cares about Bleach because it ended poorly.
Bleach had an ending, and they're like, "Here's all these new villains." Nobody gives a fuck.
So that's just a hurdle Marvel's gonna hit.
I think so. I think they've already hit it, but their movie with Thanos,
their Avengers movie, the only thing that's gonna keep them
was so good that everybody's overlooking it. I think it's been building, and if this Avengers wasn't as good as it was, it would have really hit its climax, like with everybody like talking shit on it. But I don't know. I feel like we'll really see how
dedicated they are to putting a finale to this.
How it'll all play out in the next like couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah.
In the Aimless podcast.
Oh, you think so?
The podcast where we're going from movies to SJWs to Quentin reviews to anime.
Aimless anime podcast.
As aimless as it can be, eh?
Yeah, as aimless as it can be. True to the name.
Well, my name is Jonathan.
My name is Jeremy.
And we'll see you later.